Alrighty, so you guys seem to really like these videos, and I figured that it would be a good time to do it on a Monday because I typically just let the patch notes sort of video ride out through Monday. But I wanted to talk about the revenue and everything for the game because, it's just kind of something interesting to look over a little bit. So, yeah, if you're new to the channel or anything, feel free to subscribe. But looking over it, it seems like we're in a pretty decent spot. It doesn't look like we're in anything super crazy at the moment. I mean, we did just finish out October. The JP side of things did have their collab for a couple of extra days compared to ours. So, I mean, I don't know that you're necessarily seeing the most coverage of maybe the Overlord collab in here. I mean, it was already launched, I guess, for the first couple of days. Maybe it's almost the end of week 1 for us on global, so I would imagine a lot of the sales and stuff like that do normally come in on like day 1, day 2. But I assume that they sort of spread out through the week and everything, which a lot of this week has been November already. So I don't know. We might end up seeing a little bit more of that in the next set of sort of revenue charts or whatever. But overall, the game is doing pretty good. I'm not 100% sure what the actual specifications for top grossing are at the moment for games in top grossing. Grand Cross on my phone is right around there. That one right there. It's at 53 at the moment, which is pretty good. If you go to the Grand Cross page itself, it says that we're number 4 in role-playing games. I don't know exactly what Netmarble wants it to be for us to get rewards and stuff in game, but most of the time, if we can end up hitting top grossing, they normally give us a little bit of payback, a little bit of rewards and stuff like that for spending money. But overall, I would say that the game is pretty much in a typical spot. If you look at the past couple of months and everything, the only real outliers are in June. It looks like JP did 3.5 million compared to, it looks like they normally sit around 2 to maybe 2.5 million in January, because that was the really big festival and everything. It was obviously much higher at 4 million, and then we were at 6 million. But global actually surprisingly just sits around 4 million. If it's not at 4 million, it's kind of in between and everything. And we do get festivals every 2 to 3 months, so you can kind of see every other month it kind of bounces back and forth between 4 million and 2 million, whether or not there's a big banner to actually spend on and everything. So I mean, it seems like so far everything's pretty typical, pretty much in line with what we're normally used to. It doesn't look like there's any sort of big boost at the moment. But I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing either. I do see a lot more hype around the Overlord collab, of course, so I'm maybe expecting to see maybe a little bit of a jump for the November chart, which then again, we should be getting a festival at the end of November as well. I think we're supposed to be getting, I think it's a leaked Hawk and Oslo unit. For the next one, I assume it's Green Hawk and Oslo, since we don't have that one. But he's supposed to be, I don't know, he got leaked. I don't know if he's necessarily going to be in the next time slot or whatever for a banner. But I can only imagine that's not going to be something that people are spending money on. So I could see maybe a little bit of a boost towards the November charts and everything for the beginning of the Overlord into the end of the Overlord collab. Obviously, the Hawk and Oslo stuff is probably not going to generate much revenue, if any at all. But towards the end of the month should be a festival, and the November festival is normally pretty interesting. The 2 big festivals for the year are normally the November one, and then the end of December into early New Year's, which tends to be the newest, most power crept unit. Most of the time, it's a Meliodas. We'll see if they go with that route this time. I think a lot of people are expecting a Chaos Arthur maybe in November, and then a new Melee in December, January. Not 100% sure, of course, what we're going to be getting yet. There's not been any sort of real big key indicators or leaks or anything like that, of course. So nothing super crazy. But I mean, overall, the game's still in a very good spot, I would say. Nothing, there's no big dips or anything. The game is still, making the same amount of money that it normally does. I'm definitely interested to look at the charts and everything once the Origins game starts to come out, because I think a lot of people are looking forward to Origins, and the fact that they want to I don't necessarily know if they want to jump ship and just go straight over to Origins, but I am kind of interested to see how sort of revenue will probably drop at the beginning of Origins, and then maybe it'll equalize out, maybe it'll go back up. Maybe it'll stay the same. Maybe it'll like dip and then just kind of like ride out a dip because people are kind of moving on to the new game. Not 100% sure how that's going to go, but yeah, interesting little couple of months here. Obviously, you can see because it was so big in January, which I guess I can scroll over some too. You can see last November, it was pretty typical. It looks like they had maybe already gotten the festival on JP, so they had started to like do a really big boost in revenue, and then you can definitely see like full swing, big boost in December. We started to boost in December. Into New Year's, we were already at 6 million, which is 2 more millions than normal, and they were still at like around 4 million. So this is definitely like these 3 months right here, which we're starting to work into, are going to be the really big months where people are going to be spending a lot of money and everything. So definitely could be some big jumps here. Not 100% sure what that's going to mean for the game, obviously. Like, I mean, it's good for the game health, of course, that people are spending money and everything, but who knows? Maybe it'll be like a huge wave of power creep and everybody's going to get really annoyed at the brand new unit, but that tends to happen sometimes. I normally feel like the January sort of like New Year's unit typically starts like a whole new year of power creep where he's like on a whole new level, and then the rest of the units throughout the year are sort of like catching up to him, if not pushing a little bit past him, so that way the next New Year's unit can sort of like blow them all out of the water again. So they have a pretty typical cycle. They do have, not necessarily festivals, but like collabs and stuff like that, most of the time in the same time slots each year as well. So you can kind of see that over the past couple of months, there wasn't like any sort of like huge increases because AOT was a little bit of a letdown, I think, for most people. But definitely interested to see if we can hit like maybe 5 million, maybe 6 million or something like that for November, just because of Overlord, because people are really, really hyped about it. I want to say we hit top grossing on JP for Overlord as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't play JP. I think there was a couple of extra like diamond rewards and stuff that they got in their mailbox. Not 100% sure if we're going to see that on Global or not. I would assume if they got it on there, we would get it on ours as well. But yeah, it's two completely different versions of the game. But either way, if you have any thoughts or opinions on this thing, let me know. Another thing to note at the very not necessarily bottom, but I think it's on this one as well. The Black Clover mobile game should be on here. Oh yeah, it's actually pretty close to the top. The Black Clover mobile game is completely in the gutter right now. I know a lot of people were kind of excited about Black Clover going from 7DS. It plays a lot like 7DS. Basically, the next big game that is very, very similar. A lot of people were probably going to transition over to that game. It's got a big fan base and everything. They just have not. There's been zero news about I guess there's a little bit of news. They're still planning on releasing the game this year. They're not pushing it into next year or anything for global, but overall, the fact that it's still a JP only game at the moment, I feel like a lot of the hype for this game has died down, and I'm really not sure if it's going to survive or not. I really hope that it does for the people who want to play it and everything. At this point, I've kind of lost interest, and I'm already so busy with Grand Cross and stuff that I don't really see myself playing the Black Clover game. But overall, I mean, I'm still interested to try it out, of course, whenever it comes out. But shoo-wee, they're having a rough time. Hopefully, they can launch it within the next maybe a month or two, because obviously that's the only time frame that they have. But who knows, if it comes out with a big bang, they do like a huge update, big stuff going on or whatever for the global version whenever it launches, maybe it can do something. But so far, not looking great. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I know it was a little bit more of analytical type video or whatever, which I'm not an expert on any of this stuff anyway. So take my opinions and everything with a grain of salt. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.